Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you are, remember you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another HABS Daily News with the hockey coach Guru called FRENCHY. Today, episode number 326. What do you mean, coach? First of all, let's talk about the Montreal Canadiens RFA and 2023. Secondly, the NHL Stanley Cup Final 2023 between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Florida Panthers for news and update. And finally, stay until to the end. I have another great Montreal Canadiens proposal deal in the next couple of weeks could benefit a long term the Montreal Canadiens. But before we start, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, and leave me a comment about this episode. And let's dive in talking about my first subject of the day. First subject of the day, guys, about the Montreal Canadiens players are RFA in 2023. And we know the date limit to offer them a contract is June 30 at the end of this month. Now, Montreal Canadiens as friend players, they can offer them a contract. First of all, with the Montreal Canadiens, RHP, Jesse Allen, Denis Kurianov, and then from the Laval Rocket, we have Mitchell Stephen, Lucas Condotta, Nicolas Baudin, and finally, we have Destil. What Montreal is going to do? Here, we have a proposal for each one of them. First of all, guys, the Montreal Canadiens are going to offer a contract of the Raphaël Harvey-Pinard, a 3-year deal at $1.4 million. We know Pinard have 34 game play with the Montreal last year with 14 goals and 6 assists. Now, we know they could go the same thing like they did with Pitlick, 2 years at $1.4 million. But I think it would be more benefit if Montreal can offer him an extra year at $1.4 million. Now, my second player is, of course, Denis Kurianov. We know he was straight at the trade line from the Dallas Stars for that enough. Kurianov, he was again another player with inconsistency, exactly what he did with the Dallas Stars. The problem is right now, his minimum contract RFA, if Montreal offer him a contract, is at $2.9 million. I believe Montreal are going to refuse to go that direction, but they could do exactly what they did with Ren Pitlick last year. What are you talking about, coach? First of all, last year, they did not offer a contract to Pitlick, and they considered to negotiate after July. And Pitlick decided to stay with the Montreal Canadiens, get a contract at $1.4 million for 2 years. I believe Montreal could do the same path with Kurianov and offer him a 2-year contract at $1.75 million. Can Kurianov accept the deal or not? I'm not sure, but that's maybe a possibility for the Montreal to keep Kurianov if they want to have him for the upcoming season with the Montreal Canadiens. My third player is Jesse Allen. We know he was drafted at 35 overall pick a couple years ago by the Montreal Canadiens. Last year, he played 37 games with the Montreal Canadiens with 6 goals and 10 assists for a total of 16 points. He's an RFA. I believe Montreal Canadiens are going to offer him only a 1-year contract at $1.2 million. And I believe, for me, Montreal Canadiens could use him as an asset for any package deal they can do for the next couple of weeks. This is the reason I believe they're going to offer him a contract. Now, for the Laval Rocket players, guys, I only see 3 players going to have a contract for the Montreal Canadiens. I'm talking about Baudin, defenseman. I think he could be a big, good asset for the Montreal to play with Laval Rocket to helping the rookies. Then they're still going to consider what he already accomplished with the Laval Rocket with the last couple of years. With Belzile, I think it will be a great duo with their experience for the young players coming now play with the Laval Rocket like Riley Kidney, Farrell, Joshua Roy. And finally, Condotta can do exactly the same thing like Belzile and Destil. This is the only 3 players I believe Montreal are going to offer a contract to them. I would like to hear from you guys. Leave me a comment. What do you think about all my proposal I did for my first subject? And now, let's move on for my second subject of the day. Second subject of the day, guys, very quickly, is the NHL Stanley Cup Final 2023. Game number 5, it's Tuesday night, June 13 at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Of course, we're going to do again the play-by-play commentary. Now, the Vegas Golden Knights won the last game at the Sunrise in Florida by the score 3-2, and they take the lead now 3-1. Possible game number 5 is going to be the last game of the season 2022-2023. I feel like the Vegas Golden Knights are going to beat the Panthers. Unfortunately, for the Panthers fans, the players are really not in great shape at that moment. We know Lesteranen did not play any games so far, but look like Kachuk right now is really in a bad shape with some kind of injury at one of his arm, with possible a shoulder, an elbow, or the wrist. He played only 4 shifts during the third period of the last game. Same situation with Duclair. Not sure both of them are right now questionable for game number 5. And finally, Monto and Kudos, we already know they play with some kind of injury. So it's not looking good for the Fleur Panthers for game number 5. The Vegas Golden Knights win that game. Who is going to be the winner of the Connie Smythe Trophy? And I believe it's going to be Jonathan Marchessault. Slightly, it could be Boporski, but I don't think so. It will go that way. I think Marchessault, with what he did so far in the playoff, he is the best player to get the Connie Smythe Trophy for this year. Yes, player to consider are maybe Hill, Pietrangelo, Barbashev, and Eichel. But at the end of the day, Marchessault really deserves the Connie Smythe Trophy for the Stanley Cup Final 2023. Panthers lost now. Montreal Canadiens are going to get the 31 overall pick at initial draft 2023. I would like to hear from you guys. 2 questions for you. Leave me comments. Do you think this is the last game and Vegas is going to win? If it's the case, who is going to be the winner of the Connie Smythe? Let's move on now, guys, for my last subject of the day. Oh, my last subject of the day, guys, is about the Montreal Canadiens rumor. And today, I want to talk about the Nashville Predator. What? They have a new general manager, Barry Trotz. They have, at that moment, their 15th overall pick, and Askarov, the goaltender, was drafted in 2020, 11 overall, starting to thinking about maybe a deal with the Montreal Canadiens. But when you have coach for that deal, for this deal, guys, you'll be shocked. Montreal Canadiens and the Nashville Predator make a deal. Montreal get the 15th overall pick from the Nashville Predator and the goaltender Askarov. In return, Montreal Canadiens are going to give them their 5th overall pick 2023 plus Mike Hoffman and plus Jesse Allen. Are you kidding me, coach? No. But why the Nashville going to get that pick? First of all, they're going to have an amazing, great prospect, top 5. Why Mike Hoffman? Because they still have a lot of money on the salary cap. Secondly, they need at least a top 9 winger. With many players left the team, I think Mike Hoffman, for 1 year only, it could get a spot with the Nashville Predator. And we know with Jesse Allen, it could be part of the roster for upcoming season 2023-2024. In return, Montreal Canadiens get their future goaltender with Askarov and the trend between 5th and 15th. What is this, coach? But first of all, that deal is because I believe Montreal are going to skip on Michkov. If this is the case, or if they pick Reinbacher or Leonard, if you look about all the players at 15, they still have a great pick. They're going to get a top 6 players, worst case, a top 9 players. They're going to get a top 2nd pairing defenseman. It could be Sandin Pelika. At that moment, it could be possible to have Perrault. It could have Oliver Moore. You could have Wood, Simashev, and I can go all the way. So I think the trend between Leonard and the 15th overall pick is not big difference, and then they get Askarov. I would like to hear from you guys. If you're Montreal Canadiens, is it a good deal? If you are Nashville Predator, is it a good deal? And honestly, do you feel this is a great deal for both teams? And that's conclude, guys, all the subject we have on this episode. Here we go. Episode number 326 is over. We talk about the Montreal Canadiens RFA 2023, the NHL Stanley Cup Final 2023 between the Vegas and the Panthers, and finally, another Montreal Canadiens rumor. But before we leave, we invite you, please click on the like, subscribe to our Canadian show, and leave me a comment about this episode. And of course, you have greatness inside of you. And we wish you an amazing, great, blessing day, everybody.